In 1696, England's currency was so fake that the nation's economy nearly collapsed. The accepted story is simple. England's coins were worn smooth. Clippers and counterfeiters had degraded the currency so badly that trust evaporated. The government brought in Isaac Newton, master of the Royal Mint, who orchestrated a grand recoinage. Everyone got new coins. Problem solved. The narrative is neat, orderly, and almost entirely incomplete. Start in London, 1690. A merchant goes to pay for a shipment of cloth. He hands over coins. The merchant's scale, a balance used to weigh precious metal, tells him something's wrong. These coins are light, not by accident. Clippers had filed the edges smooth, shaving off silver while leaving the face intact. This wasn't new. Clipping had plagued English currency for decades, but by the 1690s it had metastasized. Counterfeits flooded in from abroad. Domestic criminals multiplied. Approximately 1/3 of coins in circulation were either clipped or fake. The money supply was rotting from within. The government knew this. They'd known it for years, but they did almost nothing. Why? Recalling currency, melting it down and reissuing it costs money. A lot of money. Parliament was reluctant to spend it. The economy limped along, hemorrhaging confidence. By 1695, the crisis became undeniable. Merchants refused to accept coins without weighing them. Foreign traders demanded payment in bullion. Tax collectors couldn't operate. They couldn't trust the money they collected. The economy was seizing up. Parliament finally acted in 1696. They authorized a complete recoinage. Every coin in circulation would be called in, melted, and reissued. New coins would have milled edges, a mechanical pattern that made clipping visible. The plan was radical. The logistics were nightmarish. Here's where the standard account introduces Isaac Newton. He was appointed Master of the Mint in 1699. The story presents him as the hero who saved England's currency through genius and will. But Newton arrived after the decision was already made. He didn't architect the recoinage, he executed it. The real architect was William Roman III government, particularly the Treasury. They understood something crucial. A currency crisis isn't solved by adding more money or tinkering at the edges. It's solved by restoring trust through total replacement. The old money had to die. The recoinage began in June 1696. It was enormous in scale. The mint worked around the clock. They operated multiple facilities. They brought in contract workers. By 1698, most of the old currency had been exchanged. The process took nearly 3 years and consumed roughly 1/3 of the government's annual revenue. But here's what the standard account misses. The recoinage didn't immediately fix everything. The economy actually contracted during the process. Businesses hoarded the new coins because they were valuable. The money supply temporarily shrunk. Prices fell. People suffered. Counterfeiting didn't stop either. It slowed, but criminals adapted. They counterfeited the new coins. The government responded with brutal enforcement. Counterfeiting was treated as high treason. The punishment was death, specifically execution by drawing and quartering. Dozens were hanged. Newton's role when he did arrive was to lead this enforcement. He used his position to investigate counterfeiters. He was methodical, obsessive, and effective. He built networks of informants. He personally interrogated suspects. This isn't the Newton of popular imagination, the absent-minded genius. This was a man executing policy. The real story, then, isn't about one man's genius saving a nation. It's about an institutional response to systemic rot. Parliament identified the problem. They committed massive resources. They endured short-term pain. They enforced the solution ruthlessly. The result was slow, costly, and incomplete. By 1700, the recoinage was mostly complete. The new coins circulated widely. Trust began to return. Merchants resumed normal trading. The economy stabilized. It had taken 4 years and enormous expense, but the currency was sound again. What makes this history relevant isn't Newton. It's the underlying principle. A currency only works if people trust it. When trust erodes, through counterfeiting, debasement, or any other mechanism, no amount of clever policy fixes it instantly. The solution requires admitting the old system is broken and building a new one from scratch. The 1696 recoinage also established a precedent. When currencies fail, governments don't patch them, they replace them. This principle has repeated throughout history. It's happening today in different forms. The mechanism changes, but the underlying logic remains. Trust requires radical action, not incremental fixes. The Great Recoinage of 1696 wasn't solved by genius. It was solved by recognizing that some problems can't be solved at the margins. They require total reconstruction. The people who made that choice, the members of parliament, the treasury officials, the bureaucrats who managed it, deserve more credit than the mathematician who came in to enforce it. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe for more economic history that reshapes how you understand the world around you, stories where the conventional wisdom cracks under scrutiny. Subscribe for more economic history that reshapes how you understand the world around you, stories where the conventional wisdom cracks under scrutiny. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.